Hi everyone, it's Lehman with Lace Covered Skies. I'm here today with some paper. So I've been printing a lot and I wanted to show you my results. I have been printing on magazine paper. It's actually from a magazine anthology that I have been taking pages from for my retro journals. And I've also been taking pages from a National Geographic magazine. Now, there in both of those books or magazines, I love the really cool images, right? But there are so many pages left over where it's just words. And I do make pockets and stuff like that from book pages, but I wanted to find another use for it because there's just so many of them. And this is not like a huge new thing, but I decided to do a lot of them. And I was pretty surprised by the results, by how much I liked them. So I wanted to show you guys. So I am printing wallpaper images. They are digitals from Taylormade journals, as well as Yana Vallie on Etsy. So let's go ahead and just look at the results. This one is from Yana Vallie. And it's from a Let's Live magazine anthology from 1962. So they're vintage pages. They print really well. I only have one that got eaten by my printer, but there's this one. I really like this one. And this printed a little bit lightly, so I double printed it. I fed it back in through the printer the same way, and I printed it out. And the cool thing about this is I could cut this out to make it into a journaling card, and it'll just have a print on it. Same with this one. And of course, I will be using many of these as whole pages as well, and making envelopes and stuff like that from them. And this one, I first printed the yellow flowers, and then I went and fed it through my printer again to print these pink flowers. This one also came out really lightly, and I double printed it. Now, I think it was a little bit off, so it's a little bit blurred. Next time, if I want to print things through again, I'm going to make sure that I feed it through in the exact same spot, like the alignment on the printer. But there's that. This is probably one of my favorites, and this is a printable from Taylormade journals, her grungy wallpaper. I love the way it looks. So I made a few copies of those. I made quite a few. And this is another one of my favorites. And I made a whole stack of these as well. And they just turn out different on different pages. So you can see how it's not identical. Like this is a smaller page, so it just configures a little bit differently. But love that. Another one from Taylormade journals. Love it. I love pinks and greens. My printer, I have been printing a lot, and I've been printing a lot because, and this is a little trick. I recently got a new printer, and when you get a new printer, you get months of free printing. I managed to get 6 months of free printing. Don't know how that happened, but when I have the free months of printing, and this is through HP Instant Ink. I think I talked about it before. If you guys want me to talk about it again, let me know in the comments. But it's like a really good way of printing if you print a lot, because ink is so expensive. And by doing this, in my opinion, you save a lot of money. So when I get those free months, I up the plan and I just print as much as I can. And I print the things I know I'm going to use. And with these wallpapers, I go through them like crazy. and I print pretty aggressively on my printer, and this was happening. I don't know why, but you know, it's fine. And then it clears out after a few pages. So this is another one from Yana Vallie. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Taylormade journals. Okay, I think what I want to do is separate these out between this magazine and the National Geographics, except for these ones that I have a lot of. For these, I'm just gonna put them together. And it's cool with these National Geographic magazines. If there's color images in the back, it's just like a nice little page. All right, so let's set that aside. National Geographic. This one didn't turn out too well. It's from Jenny Allsorts. I love her digitals, but it didn't really match this page. So that's what I look for as well. Love that. I look to see what suits the page. And I am so excited to use these in my retro journals. They're also going to go well in my grungy textured journals. They're kind of like grungy glam, and these images really feel grungy glam to me. That's from a magazine. The magazine, this one as well. Another one of my favorites. It turned out so well. I feel like the larger print with lots of space turn out good on these pages. All right, another one from Taylormade journals. This one's a very light pink. This one, so this is the one that got eaten by my printer. It came through though. Like, I wasn't standing by the printer, but it came through. Let me put that. Where did it? Here we go. This is a good way. Paper is so expensive now. I went to Staples yesterday, and a ream of paper, you guys, I don't know if it was like special or anything. It didn't seem like it was any kind of special paper. A ream of paper is over $10. Can you believe that? I was shocked. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of, maybe I can zoom in a little bit so you can see the images a little bit better. But I was shocked. And so when I was going through these, this one turned out really well too. When I was going through these papers, I was like, this would be a good way to be able to print without having to buy paper, and you're reusing too. So that's great. But yeah, I was shocked. And I have a lot of typing paper or printer paper from when, I love how the pink looks, from 2013 when I was couponing a lot, and I remember getting a whole box of paper. So I think that's 12 reams of paper from Office Depot on a deal that made each ream of paper, so each pack of paper was $1. And I bought one box, so that's $12 for a whole box of paper. And now one ream is already almost $12. It's insane. But that's usually what I print on, but I'm running out. So I thought this was a great way to fix that problem. And it's really cool to just experiment and see how these turn out. And I cannot wait to use them. I like that one too. So what I'm gonna do probably is go through these and pick out the ones that I really like and do more of them. Although I have run out of these magazine pages. But yeah, I thought I would share. Let me know if you guys print a lot on book pages and different things as well. I would love to hear. And then I'm gonna go on and show you my paper coffee dyeing using stencils. I learned this technique. I think there must be many people who do this, but the person I learned from was, I think her name is Cindy T. That's her YouTube channel, and she has a really good tutorial. And it's such a quick way to coffee dye. So let me just lay down some paper so it doesn't stain. This is just avocado dyed paper I have right here. But I wanted to go through my results so that you guys can see what I did. And this coffee dyeing, you don't have to, is that better? You guys are seeing like my setup, like this thing right here and this white thing in the corner. All right, I hope that's better. All right, this is a very fast way to coffee dye. You can get lots of sheets done. It's very interesting looking, and there's no oven involved. I do love using the oven, but I only do that once or twice a year. So I use stencils to get these designs. And another trick is to print first. I printed a whole bunch of Taylormade journals, French receipts, and I print it first and then I coffee dye it, and I love the way it makes the ink run. Like, you might not be able to see it quite yet because it needs to dry, but it turns out really cool. So let's just look at the designs right now. Okay, that might be a little too much ink. I wasn't a fan of these papers, so I was like, I might as well just coffee dye them and see what happens. So these ones are not too impressive, but let's just keep going. And they still need to dry. So I use these stencils that are from Amazon, and Cindy T, I hope I got her name right, she recommended these stencils, and they work great, and they were a pretty good price as well. And I'm going to show you a stack that's already dried after we go through these. But I love working in these huge batches. See how there's like the writing here, and it kind of bleeds through. So when it dries completely, it looks really cool. And usually so each stencil gets 2 pages, and usually like I think it's the second page gets a clearer print, but the first page you lay down, it's not as clear. This is from the same stencil right here, and this one comes out clearer the second page you lay on top, and that one's not too clear, but I mean it still looks cool. And see how some of the ink is leaking through? That makes it really cool too. You guys should check out her tutorial. I will try to link it. If I forget, please leave me a comment. So I was printing this and I was running out of ink. So those are kind of the best to experiment with. And if you guys want me to do a tutorial, I don't think I've done a tutorial on this type of coffee dyeing. If you want me to do a tutorial, let me know as well. But her tutorial is really good. After I go through all this, I will show you guys a stack that has already dried, as well as some that I used in a journal. I love how it runs in, like the green is kind of running, the green ink, and how the letters seep through to the back. It looks really cool in a journal. Love that. And because this is just like spraying, the papers don't take long to dry at all. But yeah, so I think I already took the stencils out of this middle stack right here. And anytime I'm coffee dyeing and I need like papers to like keep it from becoming a mess, I just take other papers that I've already dyed and I just kind of set it in there. Now I tried doing it on this cardstock, so let's see how it turned out. So that's the first page that you lay down. The image is not too great, but wow, look at this one. This one turned out really good. And it's sticking because it's cardstock. When it's regular paper, it doesn't stick quite as much because the regular paper kind of soaks up the water more. So it doesn't really dry and stick to the stencil like this. That's a great print. This one turned out okay. This one turned out good. This one's pretty cool. Well, I wonder how that's gonna look when it's dry. Oh, this one's really good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just set this somehow. Like, I'm not gonna lay it all out, but I'm just gonna kind of spread it around in here, maybe like that, and set it outside so it can dry. But before I end the video, I want to show you the finished results of when I did this last time. All right, let me grab it. I'll be back in 1 second. It's just sitting on the floor over here. All right. And I love this because it looks like you put in so much effort when literally it takes so little time. Okay, so you see how it just has greens and pinks, and it's just so like random. And the back looks cool. You can see some of the writing through there. I did cut it and ink the edges, so I did do that. I love this. Look at that. So pretty. It's like aged, but still really feminine. And this looks like a mess, which is really cool. It just looks so interesting in a journal. The writing comes through. So I really call this a shortcut that makes it look like you did so much. And that design looks really cool on that one. Like the back looks maybe even cooler than the front, and the front looks really good. I love it. Look at that. I love this one. And you can experiment with different papers. This was a thicker paper, so it doesn't bleed through. And regular printer paper, the bleeding through is really cool. Like, look. So awesome. And they're all different. You never know how it's going to turn out, like what colors it'll turn. That's a really cool imprint that was left. pinks and yellows there. I think this one leaves like good colors. I need to do more of those. But yeah, and look at this, pink and yellow and a little bit of green. Okay, look at all that pink right there. It's like the ink is inadvertently dyeing the page for you. And look at how pink it is right there. But yeah, I love it. Now I'm going to show you, I don't know if I would have already done the flip throughs for these, but this is a set of journals that I used this paper in. So see how it's like a really cool crinkly sound, and it just looks so aged in there. I absolutely love it. Look at all that bleeding of the ink. Such cool colors. Let's see. There's another one. I can see the faint rose right there. And I absolutely love these colors. So cool. Here's just a white one. That one came out really clear. The trick to having it come out clear is having a spray bottle that is very fine. Like the mist is very fine. Okay, let me see if there are any more. This one turned out really clear as well. This one's so freaking cool. I love it. Just the yellow down here and the green and pink right there. It's perfect. This one right here. And an effect that I really liked is I put this is parchment paper that I use to coffee dye when I dry in the oven. I learned this little trick from Diane Shaw from Shawcraft 1. Hi Diane. She saves this and she uses it in collage. So I started saving it as well. And I just cut it up to put into my journals. And I love how it looks, the printing of the digital, how it just comes through. And it looks so aged. I love it. But yeah, so I thought I would show you some papers that I have been making to put in my journals. I had a whole bunch, so I just wanted to make a quick video about it. It's at, where are we on time? It's almost 30 minutes, so it's not too quick. But I hope you guys were able to get some tips from this video. If you did, leave me a comment down below letting me know which one you have tried and which technique you would want to try. But thank you so much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye everyone.